Every few years, the brands you know suddenly show up with a new face. Pepsi has rebranded 11 times since 1898. Starbucks has simplified their logo 4 times. Even Google swapped their playful letters for a cleaner sans serif in 2015. It's as if corporate America collectively decides to get a makeover every decade, sometimes to disastrous results. Some brands are so desperate to stay fresh, they'll rebrand twice in quick succession, once catastrophically, and then again to fix their mistake. In 2009, Tropicana abandoned their iconic orange with a straw logo for generic white packaging. Sales plummeted 20% in just 2 months, a $137 million disaster. Fast forward to 2024, they tried again with a more evolutionary approach that respected their heritage. The difference? Millions in sales and consumer sentiment. And Tropicana isn't alone in this expensive trial and error cycle. Stay with me, because we're pulling back the curtain on the high-stakes game of corporate rebranding. You'll see inside the massive investment, often up to $10 million for major brands, that goes into these visual transformations. We'll expose why companies keep rolling these expensive dice despite spectacular failures, and reveal the crucial element that most rebrand disasters miss completely: actual product evolution. From Burberry's remarkable resurrection to Instagram's icon controversy, the winners and losers in this game teach us what really matters when a brand decides to change its face. The urge to rebrand has reached fever pitch in corporate boardrooms. Once logos and identities might remain untouched for decades, Coca-Cola's script has remained largely unchanged since 1886, but today's brands update their look with increasing frequency. The numbers tell the story. The average lifespan of a logo has decreased from 15 years in the 1970s to just 7 years today. In 2023 alone, over 40% of Fortune 500 companies underwent some form of visual refresh, from subtle evolution to complete overhaul. Behind each rebrand lies an enormous investment. A comprehensive brand transformation for a major company typically costs between $1 million and $10 million when accounting for research, design, implementation across all touchpoints, and marketing to announce the change. The process consumes 8 to 18 months of intense work from internal teams and expensive agencies. Yet, despite these costs, the success rate is alarmingly low. According to brand consultancies Siegel and Gale, nearly 60% of rebrands fail to achieve their strategic objectives, and 35% actively damage brand perception. No case better illustrates this high-stakes gamble than Tropicana's infamous 2009 rebrand. The juice giant abandoned their instantly recognizable orange with a straw for generic white packaging, featuring a glass of juice. The redesign cost $35 million, but proved catastrophic. Sales plummeted 20% in just 2 months, a loss of $137 million in value. Consumer research revealed why. Without the iconic visual cues they'd relied on for decades, loyal customers couldn't find their favorite product on shelf. Others thought it looked like a generic store brand. The company hastily reverted to their original design within months. But Tropicana wasn't done. In 2024, they attempted redemption with a more thoughtful approach. Their new packaging maintained key elements of their heritage: the orange, the straw, while modernizing the overall look. Early results show a 12% sales increase and positive consumer sentiment. Gap faced a similar trajectory. Their 2010 logo change lasted just 6 days before public backlash forced a retreat. Years later, they introduced subtle evolutions that maintained their brand equity while feeling contemporary. Behind every rebrand lies a complex, costly journey, typically spanning 8 to 18 months. Discovery, strategy, design, testing, implementation, launch. Each phase demands significant investment, from $150,000 for initial research to millions for full implementation across all touchpoints. For major brands, the total bill often reaches $1 to $10 million. Yet, Despite these investments, nearly 60% of rebrands fail to achieve their objectives, with 35% actively damaging brand perception. The most crucial insight from studying rebrand successes and failures reveals itself. Visual identity changes alone rarely succeed. The brands that win are those where product design evolves alongside visual identity. Consider these contrasting approaches. Burberry. In the late 1990s, the luxury brand had become associated with counterfeiting and chav culture in the UK. Their rebrand wasn't just a new logo, it was a comprehensive product design overhaul led by Christopher Bailey. Classic patterns were reimagined in modern applications. Their iconic trench coat was redesigned with contemporary silhouettes while maintaining heritage details. The result? A 200% value increase over 5 years. Weight Watchers to WW. In 2018, the diet company rebranded to WW to suggest wellness rather than weight loss. But the product offering remained essentially unchanged, the same point system with marginally updated messaging. Without meaningful product evolution, the rebrand failed to attract new customers while confusing existing ones. The stock dropped 36% in the following months. Apple. Their visual simplification from the rainbow apple to monochrome perfectly mirrored Johnny Ive's product design philosophy, removal of unnecessary elements. As their logo simplified, so did their products, from the multicolored iMacs to the sleek, minimal designs that defined the 2000s. This alignment created a coherent brand experience that consumers instantly understood. The lesson is clear. Successful rebrands treat visual identity and product design as inseparable elements of the same experience. Why do consumers often reject rebrands? Cognitive psychology offers compelling explanations. Recognition fluency. Humans prefer things they can process quickly. A familiar logo requires less mental effort to recognize, creating a subconscious preference. When brands change visual identity, they sacrifice years of built recognition patterns. Mere exposure effect. Simply seeing something repeatedly increases preference for it. Long-established brand visuals benefit from thousands of exposures over consumers' lifetimes. Emotional attachment. Logos and packaging trigger stored memories and associations. Changing these visual anchors can sever emotional connections that took years to build. These psychological factors explain why evolutionary changes typically outperform revolutionary ones. MasterCard's 2016 redesign maintained their overlapping circles while simplifying unnecessary elements, respecting recognition patterns while modernizing. The brands that successfully navigate rebranding follow 3 critical principles. Product evolution. First, Airbnb's 2014 rebrand worked because it coincided with expanding their offering beyond accommodations to experiences. Their new Balo symbol represented belonging, not just a visual refresh. It signaled genuine business transformation. Preserve recognition elements. When MasterCard updated in 2016, they maintained their overlapping circles while simplifying unnecessary details. This evolutionary approach respected decades of built recognition while modernizing for digital contexts, resulting in stronger brand metrics across all demographics. Authentic brand purpose. MailChimp's 2018 refresh retained their quirky mascot while maturing their overall design system. This allowed them to expand from email marketing to full marketing platform without losing their distinctive personality, growing their customer base 40% in the following year. Each success story emphasizes the same truth. Meaningful rebrands start from within, aligning visual evolution with genuine product innovation. The most successful rebrands often don't feel like rebrands at all. They read as natural evolutions that maintain connection with the past while moving confidently toward the future. As we've seen, brands that focus exclusively on visual change while neglecting product experience inevitably disappoint. But those that align visual evolution with meaningful product improvement create authentic transformation that consumers embrace. In today's accelerated business environment, the temptation to rebrand grows ever stronger. But the next time you see a familiar brand sporting a new look, ask yourself, did they just change their clothes, or did they truly transform from within? Liked that deep dive into the high-stakes game of rebranding? Subscribe now for more Business Sherlock investigations.